everyone. Welcome to In My Toolbox, your weekly talk show on your personal finance here at PHLV Radio. The goal of this show is to give you financial information that you may be able to use on your day-to-day financial decisions. Mga kaibigan, we will unbox topics that will hopefully aid you and guide you and maybe even add to your financial tools. We will tackle important information mostly not taught in school, but so much needed to empower you financially. As usual, mga kaibigan, in any idea that will transpire in the show, always consult with your financial advisors, insurance professionals, or tax consultants. Of course, my name is Enrico. I'm your host. I'm a sales, marketing, and trainer, an economist, an entrepreneur, and a financial professional. So if you have questions, of course, ask them away on your chat box below. But if you're going to be listening to the show on a later time, please feel free to connect with me through Facebook page In My Toolbox. Connect with me via Instagram or LinkedIn, or simply Google my name, Enrico Pobre. You won't miss me. You can get on how to get to connect with me, or email me at enrico.inmytoolbox@gmail.com. Okay, mga kaibigan, of course, this is an episode before Christmas. So, kita nyo naman, very Christmassy ang aking damit, di ba? All right, so just before I start the topic for today, I'd just like to greet everybody Merry Christmas and, of course, a Happy New Year. We'll have one more episode before the year end, but this is going to be the episode before Christmas, okay? So, ang topic po natin today, our topic is actually very simple, what are some steps to protect your credit card data during the holidays? Kasi syempre, this holidays, maraming gumagamit syempre ng mga credit cards. There's a lot of you guys are going to be using your credit cards or a debit card. So we call it Feliz Navi Fraud. Feliz Navi Fraud. Okay, so it's although Christmas, holiday season like this is the most wonderful time of the year until syempre someone steals your credit card information. Kasi according to the statistics ng Norton, of course, this is way back, the statistics is in 2022, 36% of Americans have been victims of online shopping scams, especially on holiday season. So when someone steals your credit card information, when you make purchases or, when someone steals your credit card information when they purchase or open credit in your name, you call it credit card fraud. Let me repeat that, guys, okay? If someone uses your credit card to make purchases or open a credit in your name, it's what you call a credit card fraud. So fraud, of course, we already know what fraud is, right? It can hurt you. It can hurt you financially. It can hurt your credit score. It can cost you unnecessary bills, and most especially and most importantly, it will give you a lot of stress. The reason why I want to talk to you guys about today, of course, is timely, it's relevant. It's Christmas season or holiday season. A lot of people actually will be using their debit card or credit card, and probably some of the things that I can tell you how to protect yourselves from all of these things, Siguro, the first thing that I'm going to talk to you guys about is keep a close eye on your accounts, okay? You just have to be on top of your accounts. Monitoring your credit card is a very good idea all year round. Not only, guys, that when you feel like it, you might want to make a habit or create a habit of checking your statements every week or every month, depending on how you're using your cards or what are your financial transactions. I'm telling you, kid you not, I've seen that also in my own statement sa aking banko, and it actually happened 2021 when I was scrutinizing all my receipts, and I was going through my statements. I tell you guys, I've seen tons of transactions that is not really very familiar with me, and it can happen to you as well. It's essential during the holidays, when scams and fraud are very rampant, that you monitor your transactions in your credit cards or debit cards. Well, we get it. Life gets busy, and of course it gets you away from checking all of these things in your bank statements, or you just don't want to, keep track on the tabs that you actually attach into your account. And but I think this is something that you want to put on top of your list, to review your statements, so you'll be able to what? To be able to correct what's actually happening in your bank account. Remember, guys, we're talking about finances here. That's your hard-earned money. So you would want to protect it all the way you want. The first thing on how to protect it is to get educated on some steps on how to protect it. So you always have to aim to review your credit card statements or your debit card statements at least once a week or twice a week, especially during the holiday season. Something probably you're not used to doing. I will be telling you right now, keep a close eye on your accounts. You might want to check your statements weekly, especially this holiday season. That way you can catch fraudulent activity and report it promptly. That's how to protect yourself, guys. According to FTC, this is what you call the Federal Trade Commission. Almost 400,000 people reports credit card fraud. You may be one of them. Well, I'm not saying that you will be one of them, but I'm saying you have to be on top of things. Thankfully, most credit card companies offer zero liability fraud protection. If your card is stolen or your card is lost, the Fair Credit Billing Act limits your liability on unauthorized credit charges to what? $50. At least you know that, okay? The second thing I would want to talk to you guys about how to protect yourself from all these fraudulent activities is probably you would want to consider to use a digital wallet. If this is your first time to hear what a digital wallet, it's, I think, a high time for you to understand what a digital wallet is. Because using a digital wallet may be a safer way to use your credit card this holiday season. You don't need to carry a physical card around. That's what a digital wallet is. You don't have the card around, with you. Rather, you're actually using a digital wallet. You get away from carrying a physical card around, which means that you're likely to lose your card, definitely. And once you add your credit card to a digital wallet, like, if you have an iPhone or which is what you call the Apple Pay, or if you're using Samsung, you may probably be using Samsung Pay. You can use it, as if you're actually holding your card. You can use it to buy gifts for everyone on your list. Digital wallet, just to tell you, digital wallets encrypts and tokenize your card information, making it very hard, or harder at least, for these thieves to access your data. So with tokenization, your credit card number is replaced by a random number each time that you use it, meaning the merchant never sees your real card number other than the random number that this digital wallet produces. So if you lose your phone, a thief can't make purchases with your digital wallet without your passcode. So I think, guys, it's also high time for you to understand or learn what a digital wallet is. I've mentioned two things probably that sounds very familiar with you: the Apple Pay or the Samsung Pay. You might want to learn how to use this. That's one way of protecting you from all of these fraudulent activities that can transpire, especially this holiday season. Okay. The other thing that I can actually teach you or give you information on is you have to what? To stay vigilant for scams. You have to be vigilant for scams, because staying vigilant during especially the holiday season can help you avoid falling prey to scams. Especially again, we're talking about, we get it, we're busy. But then again, because of this busyness, you might just say, okay, it's not going to happen to me. It can happen to anyone. So there are many thieves out there that will be able to, that are actually intentionally would like to steal credit card information. So I'll give you an example of how they're going to be doing it. They call it email phishing. While email phishing scams, you'll receive an email that may appear to be in a form of a legitimate company. I'm telling you, I've seen other companies, including their logo, including how the statements are made. it looks so legitimate that when they sent you, but when you look at their email address, they're using a Gmail, address. It's kind of, you would already know that these are not authentic, and this is not a valid or legitimate transactions or message to you. But again, with this email phishing, when you click on the link or the attachment, bam, your information is already stolen. So how to recognize this email phishing? Well, again, I told you, I check on the email that's sent to me. Number two, I wonder, why would this company actually email me? I have not done any transaction with them. Or you look for spelling errors, or you look for some inconsistencies in the domain that they're using. You will see that there's actually connection to what I'm telling you about email phishing. Okay. The other thing is skimming. Your card data or your card data can be stolen directly from an ATM or an ATM machine or a card reader. Some of the most common places this will occur are in gas stations, in the gas pumps. A lot of skimming are happening in gas stations. And the other thing also are the vending machines. You would see that this skimming are very, very rampant in those areas, because skimming devices can be anywhere. So always check the card machine before even swiping. You can actually check it out. Sometimes what I do is I even hold the machine physically if there's something, fishy about that machine. There's nothing wrong, guys. It's worth doing it instead of telling yourself, oh man, it's too late already. I'm telling you guys, I have a good friend of mine. Somebody, he scammed her, wiped out every penny. No, not every penny. All the majority of his money or her money inside her bank account. And there's only about $100 left in her account, but hundreds of thousands of money was taken out of that account. So again, guys, I'm not scaring you. What I'm just trying to tell you guys is to be more vigilant on all of these things that I'm telling you. Another thing is what you call the in-store scams. There are best practices to follow while shopping in store to limit the chances of fraud. So if you apply for a credit card, during checkout, be sure to write down your social security, instead of saying it out loud. You write it, and then put it like that. Just protect. This is a vital information that fraudsters are very, very intentionally looking out there just to get all of these numbers and to be able to do some fraudulent activities. Okay, so that is actually one way of if you want to apply credit card where they're being offered you in a store, or always be aware of your surroundings. Cover your PIN numbers when entering into the pad. All of these things are just just being careful, or being extra careful in protecting your important information. So I hope, guys, you stay vigilant for all of the scammers out there. The last thing that you would want to be at is you're celebrating holidays with all of this stress that you're feeling because something happened already. Instead of celebrating it, the holiday season, now you actually position yourself on a very stressful situation. Okay. And of course, if you're stressed, everybody around you will be stressed too. We don't want that happening. Okay. The other thing too, guys, is you consider a credit freeze. So a credit freeze, it means that, sometimes we call it a security freeze. It actually acts as a buffer against potential fraud. So you may want to call your bank about it, that you would want to, to understand more about credit freeze. A credit freeze, it actually locks your credit report so potential lenders can't access it. This will be able to prevent you, or prevent thieves from opening accounts in your name. There's a lot of this happening. Identity fraud. Somebody's using your name, your social security to apply for a credit card. And it also makes it harder for you to open accounts for yourself as well. So you will have to manually unfreeze your credit when you apply for a credit freeze. So each time that you want to apply for a new credit, there's going to be very hard for you, so you have to do it manually. So the process typically only takes a few minutes anyway, but I'm telling you, even though there's an extra step, but I make sure that I stay vigilant for all of these fraudsters out there, especially this holiday season. So I hope, guys, that you're taking notes on how to protect your data, your credit card data for this holiday season. So of course, another alternative is to sign up for fraud alerts, which requires creditors to go through extra step to verify your identity when opening new credit. So it's the same thing, a credit freeze. Even you not be able to open up a credit for yourself. So you have to manually unfreeze it, or you can actually apply for a credit alert that these creditors will have to get an extra, level of protection fee from this. When you open up this credit lines, they will ask for additional identification before they can actually open a new credit for you. So fraud alerts are less of a hassle, but a credit freeze offers more protection. Either way, guys, I'm just telling you, there are these options that is available that you can use to protect your data. Okay, so other things, guys, as well is when when you shop online, you might want to use virtual card numbers. Virtual card numbers are convenient way to make credit card purchases online. So if you're a person that loves to purchase items online, you might want to use this process called virtual card numbers. They're sometimes called virtual credit cards or virtual cards. They allow you to shop online without giving vendors your actual card number. Again, virtual cards are allowing you to shop online without giving these vendors, which you actually don't even know, right, your actual card number. So this, when you use virtual credit card number, I think for me, it's the best way to protect yourself online. So these are linked to your existing credit card and replace it. This is linked to your existing credit card and replace these credit card numbers for each online transaction that you will be having. That's actually very, very nice to have, right? So it gives you extra layer again of protection whenever you do this online shopping. So this gives you more control who has access to your credit card information. And of course, it limits your exposure in case of a data breach. And a lot of companies offers this one. You just have to go out there and Google, virtual account numbers, and then you would see which credit card can actually help you on this part. So that's very good, guys. So at least we have some options on how to protect. I know you guys are going to be busy this holiday season, but then again, you might want to be careful as well and add an extra layer of protection for every transaction that you will be doing this holiday season. Okay. The other thing that I can advise you guys is to enroll in some available security features of your card. Some credit cards, sometimes there's what you call a built-in security features, but there are usually additional benefits that require manual enrollment. It's okay, guys. If it requires you to do manual process or execution to create this extra layer of protection, that's okay. I'll give an example, guys. For some credit cards, they offer a free monitoring service that proactively checks your account for signs of fraud. So if that's a kind of credit card that you have, good job. You're actually, in a very good position than some people who has other credit cards that doesn't offer what you call a built-in security feature. So you might want, the way to know it, you want to call your credit card company and ask them what are available security features that I have with my card. Some credit cards will allow you to manually sign up, and it doesn't matter. Just take the advantage of that benefit, and always ensure, guys, that your contact information is up to date. So your card issuer, or where credit card is going to come from, can you reach you quickly in case of fraudulent activity in your account? There's a lot of telemarketing that we don't want to even answer. There are some numbers just popping up in your what do you call this, in your phone. You might want to make sure that these companies, the credit card or card issuers, know what's the best way to get in touch with you. Email, your phone, whatever. At least it's updated, and you would want to give them the correct ones, of course, and the best way to connect with you, especially now, holiday season again, that fraudsters are just out there lurking around. So, and probably the last thing that I will be telling you is to monitor your credit. Another way to stay ahead of fraud is very vigilant that you monitor your credit. When you review your credit report, you want to pay extra attention to anything that looks unfamiliar. I'm telling you, that's what I did at one point, and oh my God, I was just saying, my God, this is a lot of money that's going out of my account, and I never even knew, that was fraud. So you might want to check on phone numbers, addresses, credit card or loan accounts, collection accounts, judgment or liens. You can check your credit reports, by the way, guys, from Experian or Equifax and TransUnion, and then I think they offer. You might want to check this out too. That they can actually offer a free once a year annual credit card. Annual credit report. So if you want to monitor your credit more frequently, many card issuers offer free credit monitoring. So you might want to check right now. What your your card issuer offers you, what other benefits and features that your card actually has. I'm going to give you an example. If you have a Capital One account, you would see their credit wise. That's what you call a credit monitoring. That's actually free, being offered by card issuers. Alternatively, you can sign up for free credit monitoring through a third party as well. You can just Google what are some third party apps that can give you a credit monitoring capability. So that's actually those are some things that I can share with you guys, that you'll be able to take those extra steps to protect yourself from fraudulent or scammers out there. And but the question here probably is what to do if your credit card information is stolen. So probably the first thing I would do is, number one, notify your card issuer. The first thing that you should do is to notify your card issuer online, or call them, or some of them, or most of them right now, they have mobile app. And of course, many banks now allow you to lock your card instantly on the mobile app. Just by yourself, you can lock it out. I don't know if you know that, but I'm telling you, you might want to check it out. What's the capability of your bank or your card issuer? Of course, the other thing too is automatically when you feel like there's your credit card information is stolen, you might want to change your password immediately. Victims of credit card fraud should immediately update their passwords. If you need help on keeping tracking of passwords, you can, because some people, they just don't want to change passwords, because it's just a lot of work for them to keep track on these passwords. So for me, if that's a problem, you can use some password manager. Like, I use LastPass. I always use that, because this actually creates a unique password with a combination of letters, numbers, and characters, and what have you. Or the other thing too is to file a dispute. If you notice some suspicious activity on your credit report, file a dispute with the proper credit bureau. For example, again, the ones that I mentioned to you, Experian, Experian credit report. That just call them. Hey, I have an account that I don't recognize. I want to file a dispute. So these are the things that that you have, that you can do right now to protect your hard-earned money. Okay. So in the bottom line in this topic today, guys, is monitoring your credit card account and staying vigilant can actually go a long way in preventing fraud this holiday season. I want you guys to be happy this holiday season. I don't want you guys to be frowning, stressed out, and of course, if you're stressed out, you keep on frowning, there's no happiness inside, you will not feel the holiday season, so I don't want you guys to be in that position. You want to make sure you again stay vigilant. No, you can minimize the chances of fraud, but you cannot eliminate the risk. Always remember that you can minimize it, but you cannot eliminate the risk, because there's just some people out there that's intentionally going to disturb us with this. So again, familiarize yourself with the steps to manage fraud, so you can address it automatically and swiftly, and when it occurs. So through holiday shopping, if you are a shopper, if you're a giver, of course, you expose yourself to to these fraudsters. You become your credit becomes vulnerable for credit card fraud. Just take a few extra precaution so you can have a Merry Christmas. Again, guys, that's just me thinking on how to give you all of these steps to protect your credit card information, your identity this holiday season. Again, my name is Enrico Pobre. You are listening to In My Toolbox. Hanggang na naman po sa muling episode natin. Merry Christmas po sa inyong lahat!